Here's a reminder, the news does not end here. Here's what's coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
Charlotte and Mecklenburg County leaders in Raleigh today testifying on the overall safety and safety plans of the CAT system. We'll have details coming up.
Former City Councilwoman Tijuana Brown is expected to formally plead guilty to wire fraud conspiracy charges this morning. Coming up, what we know is in the plea agreement and what's expected in court today.
2 years into legalized sports gambling in North Carolina, experts say the impact reaches far beyond the economy.
There's research that shows that family members would be embarrassed to say their family member had a gambling disorder.
How the state hopes to shed light on those who are now struggling with addiction.
And we're live in Milan as the first full week of competition gets underway in the Winter Olympics.
The local spot inspiring the next generation of Olympians. Those stories and much more live, local, and breaking news coming up at 7 a.m. on WCNC Plus.
Well, one thing to know before you hit those area roadways, this is I-485. It's the outer loop off-ramp at southbound I-85. There's a new crash right there at exit 10. We'll have more on that on WCNC Plus. Chris?
Yesterday was at 35. Today we're about 15 degrees warmer, and then we could be over 20 degrees warmer by tomorrow, 70 degrees, and then back to the 50s. We're going to be right back here, cutting in over the next couple of hours, but also you can join us on WCNC Plus.
Streaming live on a Monday morning at 7 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We're going to start things off this half hour with a check of your forecast. It was chilly yesterday, but Chris says things are improving today.
Yesterday had no sunshine. Today we do have it eventually, even though it doesn't look very hopeful right now. Dallas, Charlotte, Monroe, Kannapolis, even though Kannapolis is pointing down at the street, we are dealing with a cloudy sky, and you can actually see it here on our satellite imagery. It's this little band right here that is already starting to break up a little bit. This will fully break up, I think, over the next couple of hours. 34 right now. We did drop down to freezing around Charlotte, but most of us are either just below freezing or just above or smack dab right at it. Lincolnton, Gastonia up and down 321. You're at 32 exactly. So I do think that we're going to be hovering around this range as the kiddos are heading to the bus stop. 49 degrees for a high today. We have the mid to the upper 40s throughout the afternoon. Should be a sunny to a mostly sunny one. I do think you could have a couple of bands of upper level clouds, but other than that, perfectly sunny today. And then what is this? Already a trophy this week. Well, this is my pick of the week. Easy choice. Mixing in more clouds by the end of the day, but 70 degrees and even a cloudy day with a chance for rain. Not bad. 67 on Wednesday, but even though I have a cloudy symbol here, things are trending that we see more sunshine for the afternoon. So I think I might even just add next time you see this graphic a little bit of sunshine there for more of a mostly cloudy day. Where lows go after the near term, we're back around freezing tomorrow morning. A big surge because of how warm we're going to be in the 50s for lows on Wednesday. Once the front passes through, we have the 30s and the 40s. All right, so what's next? Well, we are still looking at the warmest day tomorrow, but it's the much needed rain that's really going to be the big change that we have to the forecast. So here's where things are going. For one, as I mentioned, 35 to 49, but the reason why we're going to see such a big surge is because of a passing warm front. And that warm front eventually is going to drive in those warmer temperatures before we're back to the 50s. But the big what to know as far as the long-term forecast goes is the best rain chances anywhere from Saturday night through Sunday night. So it's going to rain on Sunday. There's just a question about, are you going to be completely dry for Valentine's Day? Is this going to move in a little bit earlier? Because as of right now, both scenarios are showing cold rain. So there was a little bit of winter hype with this. This is not going to be a winter storm. This is a plain old cold rain system in the 40s and maybe the 50s. And the big question mark is really, is it going to move faster or slower? Like this one right here, it moves much faster and actually gets a lot of the rain out by the evening. Meanwhile, this one's moving much slower and lingers for at least 24 to 36 hours compared to this one of just around 24. So we'll see. This one I think is the most accurate. This model right here, this is actually the one that is moving almost in between the two. It's more of an ensemble. You're seeing more of a widespread rain that pushes itself into its Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon, lingering back half rain before we will dry out, heading into Monday with a slight chance for a little wintry burst for the high country above 3,500 to about 4,000 feet. So the 7-day forecast brought to you by the Jerry Hunt Super Center. Oh, this is nice. Sunshine with 70. We don't know what to do with ourselves. That seems like a shorts day to me. And then even though you have those clouds, a little bit of sunshine for your Wednesday, I think it barely rains according to that system. Then we're back to the mid to the upper 50s, which by the way is where we should be. Back to 49, that's where we're at today with a cold rain on Sunday. And then we have that warmer hope because we should start to warm back up to the 60s the middle of next week. All right, let's get right over to Majestic for our first look at traffic here on WCNC Plus.
Let's do a good Monday morning, everyone. Take a look at this. This is I-85 getting backed up northbound heading towards Charlotte. This is out near mile marker 21 near Cox Road. You can see there was an accident this morning. They do have it off on the shoulder, so at least that's helpful, but you can see cars are very slow moving right around it, very congested. So if you typically take I-85 inbound, you're going to want to allow for plenty of extra drive time. This is out there in Gaston County, and you can see it's between exit 19 and exit 21 where we really have those backups that are really building as more people are heading out the door, heading off to work, waking up those kids, getting them up for their school day. It is just after 7 o'clock, so prime time rush hour. We'll keep a close eye on that one for you. Something new this morning as well. This is just north of Uptown, I-85. It's southbound, the off ramps to I-77, specifically exit 38. Just a new crash that was just reported. If you take I-45, the west side of it, this is the outer loop, the off ramp to I-85, exit 10. There's a crash there, and just to the south of it, an additional one. Wilkinson Boulevard at I-485. Still seeing a lot of green with it, so that's always good, meaning that traffic isn't being highly impacted. But as you can tell, there's a lot going on this morning. That's what I'm watching for you right now. We'll have another check coming up soon.
We are following multiple breaking news stories from overnight, starting in East Charlotte, where a medic responded to a deadly crash. Happened at the intersection of Starnes Randall Road and Harrisburg Road just after 1 a.m. Medic says the victim died there at the scene. No other details have been released. In North Charlotte, an investigation underway after a medic responded to a shooting. It happened on David Cox Road just after midnight. Medic says one person was seriously hurt and taken to a hospital. Right now, we don't know what led up to that shooting or if there are any other injuries involved. Finally, to a breaking news update, CMPD investigating another deadly crash in East Charlotte. This one happened last night on Central Avenue near Sheridan. Medic tells us the victim died at the scene. Right now, it's unclear what caused the crash.
7:05 now. Today, several Charlotte and Mecklenburg County leaders, including Sheriff Gary McFadden, are going to be testifying in front of the House Oversight Committee in Raleigh. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane joins us live this morning. He's along the light rail and South End. And Richard, we know a lot of today's hearing is going to be discussion about public safety here in Charlotte.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct, Lisa. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ben. Good Monday morning to folks watching us on the Plus. Now, we won't learn a lot about Irina Zaruska because of the fact that there have been court proceedings that preclude that from happening. But one of the things that we can tell you is that some county leaders who will be at those hearings say they believe this could be no more than just some sort of political theater. Charlotte leaders say they're set to face tough questions today in Raleigh, where a State House Oversight Committee will examine safety on the CATS transit system. Republican lawmakers say they want answers about crime-fighting tactics as well as spending following those two high-profile stabbings on the light rail, including the fatal attack last August that killed Ukrainian refugee Irina Zaruska. The committee has called Mayor Vi Laus, CMPD Chief Estella Patterson, District Attorney Spencer Merriweather, Interim CATS CEO Brent Cagle, and Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden to testify. Lawmakers say high-profile crimes have raised serious concerns about Charlotte's law enforcement staffing and the city's overall public safety strategy. City leaders, for their part, say they're expected to outline changes that they've already made to improve transit security as scrutiny over safety and accountability continues. But Sheriff McFadden questions why he was called to testify, since he says his office has little to do with the city's transit system except housing those arrested on the buses or light rails.
So when we talk about the light rail, that should have been under the CMPD umbrella. But of course, you know, we are in a political era.
Really hoping that the conversation is on the issue and it does not end up being a political theater.
Yeah, hearing those words from both of them about the politics involved. We of course, we have someone there. Our own Julie Kay will be there, and we will find out exactly what is said, and we'll let you know after that they have that hearing, both here and, of course, in our mobile app. We're right here in the South End. This is Richard Devane. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Richard, thanks so much. Well, Super Bowl 60 became a battle of defense. That is until the second half. In the end, the Seattle Seahawks raised that Lombardi trophy for the second time. And it was the defense that got the job done with 7 sacks. Kenneth Walker added 160 yards on the ground to win Super Bowl MVP. I mean, this guy was running a lot. It was a rough go, though, for Patriots quarterback and Charlotte native Drake May in his first Super Bowl. The Seahawks ran away with this one, 29-13. We are taking a closer look at how one of the biggest games of the year is impacting sports betting here in North Carolina. It's been almost 2 years since it became legal in the state. Billions of dollars have been wagered, with tax revenue going to youth sports and other programs. Total bets, in fact, topped more than $7 billion statewide in the first year. Experts say there is another side to this story.
Since we launched, within 6 months of sports betting launching in North Carolina, the North Carolina Problem Gambling Helpline saw a 79% increase in calls.
Addiction professionals say if you or someone you know is struggling with gambling, help is available through the North Carolina Problem Gambling Helpline, and we posted that information on our mobile app.
Congress running out of time to break its immigration standoff. Will the deadline force a deal? We'll take a look. 7:12 right now. You know, every 4 years, something kind of unusual happens in the sports world. The Super Bowl collides with the Winter Olympics, and football fans in Milan made sure they found an American sports bar and were ready at midnight to catch all the action.
That's some dedication to football there. And as we enter the first full week of competition at the Winter Olympics, Anne-Marie Tiernan is live in Milan for us this morning. So Anne-Marie, we have to start with Lindsey Vonn. You know, terrible news to see that she crashed yesterday. Are there any updates?
No, and that's what everyone wants to know. I mean, the latest update we heard was that she did break her leg, that she had surgery, and now she is recovering from surgery on that broken leg. But we haven't heard anything else. And, you know, we're waiting for word from Team USA, from Lindsey herself. Perhaps she will go on social media. Her sister, you know, that was there at the venue and had said that she was being medically evaluated. But right now there's just been kind of this silence other than the broken leg situation. So waiting to hear from her. You know, she's a daredevil, and people that know her and have been following her just had predicted this, that it was going to be either she was going to have a place on the podium or she was going to crash out trying. And that's what happened early in the run. She's 41 years old. She's been at 5 Olympics now. This was her decision. And, you know, I think in her mind, from what I've heard from the people that are close to her, I've talked with her therapist who has spent years with her, really trying to understand how she processes information, how she makes decisions, very methodical in her approach, that she's like, you know what, I had to give it a try. I gave it a try. It didn't work. But there's no doubts of whether or not, you know, no what ifs. You know, she tried it and this is the result. And from all accounts, it seems like Lindsey Vonn will be able to process that and move on knowing that she tried.
Let's talk about the competition today. What events are you looking forward to the most today?
Well, I really kind of like this slope style because we've got Eileen Gu there, and she is just a global icon. You know, she's a student at Stanford that's taken a break. She's studying international business. She's going to be going back for the spring semester. She competed in 3 events at the last games, or in Beijing, I should say, and she won gold, gold, silver. So the event that she got silver is the event that she's competing in today, which is slope style. So you got to think that she's really like motivated. I want to get that gold. That competition is going on 6:30 Eastern time. So you should be able to tune in and watch that. She's going to have 3 runs, and then it's the one who has the best run wins. So I think that one's really interesting. Then in the midday, you're going to have speed skating. And in there, you've got Brittany Bowe, and you also have Erin Jackson. And these 2 ladies train together. They're friends. They're out of Florida, and they're going to be competing in the 1,000 meter. And it's interesting that Brittany Bowe has the world record in that event. So I think that's really must-see TV. That's at 11:30 Eastern. And then, of course, women hockey. I mean, those ladies are just steamrolling. They are expected to do that again tonight. The game will be in the evening here in Milan. You're going to be able to watch it at 2:40 Eastern, and they're taking on the Swiss, and they're heavily favored in that. So those would be the 3 marquee events. You want to look ahead to tomorrow, where you're going to see Ilya Malinin in the long program competition get underway, the Quad God, and that's going to be must-see TV that definitely a lot of people are looking forward to this week as well.
Is the Quad God for sure. My goodness. So many exciting events, Anne-Marie. Thanks so much. It's always great to check in with you. All right, moving along now. Some newly released records show the current Secretary of the Navy was listed as a passenger on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. The flight manifest shows that John Phelan traveled from London to New York in 2006 alongside Epstein and several others. A close friend confirmed Phelan was on that flight, but said it was his only interaction with Jeffrey Epstein and that he didn't know he'd be flying on Epstein's plane until he arrived. There was no evidence that Phelan was aware of any wrongdoing at the time, and he declined to comment.
7:16 right now, with the Republicans and Democrats still locked in a standoff over changes to immigration enforcement. Congress now just has 1 week to reach a compromise on those 10 demands Democrats say must be met to fund the Department of Homeland Security. NBC's Alice Barr now with the latest as Congress also continues its work on the Epstein investigation.
This morning, a renewed spotlight on the Jeffrey Epstein files, with a group of survivors appearing in a powerful PSA during the Super Bowl.
We're standing together.
Standing together.
Because this girl deserves the truth.
The video points to the 3 million files still not released and calls on viewers to demand transparency from the Attorney General. Starting today, members of Congress can begin reviewing the unredacted version of the millions of pages the Justice Department has released on the late sex offender. Lawmakers coming armed with questions.
Where are the rest of the documents? Why did they release victims' names?
Members of the House Oversight Committee also getting a look today at Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell, who's set to be deposed in a virtual appearance from the Texas prison camp where she's serving her 20-year sex trafficking sentence. Her attorneys have told the committee she plans to plead the Fifth and won't answer questions. It all comes as lawmakers are facing down a Friday deadline when the Department of Homeland Security is set to run out of funding, unless negotiators can reach agreement on reforms to ICE and Border Patrol's immigration enforcement.
They've gone way too far, and the American people want them reined in.
Republicans have signaled openness to some Democrat demands, calling others non-starters.
I'll tell you what's not going to be in there: amnesty for illegal aliens. I'll tell you what's not going to be there: stripping away protections for law enforcement officers that are trying to protect themselves.
Pressure building in a big week on Capitol Hill. In the traditional Super Bowl presidential interview, President Trump and NBC's Tom Llamas zeroed in on the economy, with the president again asserting he inherited a mess, but saying we are in the Trump economy now, and pointing to strong GDP growth, even as polling shows many Americans frustrated with stubbornly high prices. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Pizza lovers, we got a big reason to smile today. We'll tell you why next.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Super excited about the warm-up, but I'm actually just as excited about the rain that we're going to see this weekend. I know it's not going to be the most pleasant weekend, but truly, we're at almost the emergency status that we really do need it, because the entirety of the Carolinas are under at least a dry status to a majority of us actually under a moderate to a severe drought, including most of our viewing area. And the next stop will be extreme drought. And once you get to that status, it really can have some long-lasting effects. And love it this time of year that it's much easier to overcome a drought because you don't have all that green stuff trying to soak everything up. So this is actually the better time to get a big surge of rain to try to overcome that deficit. But we're kind of at the point that we desperately need to do it soon, and we can't really wait too much longer. I think we could see at least up to an inch, which would be great. And that could start anywhere as early as Saturday evening or start as late as Sunday morning and vice versa. And then we also have a chance to see this linger actually from Saturday night all the way through Sunday night heading into Monday. That's kind of the big questions that we're seeing here. So the two models that are agreeing, it's going to be cold rain. We're looking at widespread cold rain up to 24 hours. Really, it's just about, is it going to linger longer or is it going to move faster? The faster destination keeps this as more of a Sunday morning to Sunday evening event. This one right here kind of has it for most of the weekend, but I still think you'd have a lot of dry activities for your Valentine's Day, which is that Saturday. And then after that, you're going to see some big changes. So here it is. This is what it looks like at 9 p.m. on Valentine's Day. So there's a chance you could have a little bit of mist, maybe some drizzle, some light rain starting to move in, but a majority of the rain will be once many of you are sleeping from hopefully a wonderful Valentine's Day, and then widespread rain takes over for most of the day before eventually we are going to see a subtle changeover. So just kind of keep that in mind as far as how much rain that we could see. Many of the southeast seeing up to about 1 to 2 inches of rain. Some areas even seeing about 2 to 3 in the western side of the Carolinas. So again, some much needed rain on the way. Next chance for rain is technically Tuesday night to Wednesday, but not much should come out of it. All right, let's get over to Majestic for a morning commute.
Good morning, everyone. Let's get a check on what's going on. If you're getting ready to head out the door, this is what I-85 looks like. It is jam-packed, congested. This is going to be mile marker 21 near Cox. We did have an accident earlier. You can see the cars off to the side. A couple police officers were also there earlier, but they have since cleared. The lanes are moving. They're just moving slowly, so that'll be something to keep in mind out there in Gaston County, really between exits 19 and exits 21, heading towards Uptown. That's where we do have just a little slower moving traffic. Once we zoom it in, do want to let you know about this. This is going to be I-85 southbound. It's the off-ramp to I-77, exit 38. That's where we do have an additional crash.
All right, 7:24. Today's a big day, folks. Today, National Pizza Day, celebrating one of our favorite foods, from thin crust, deep dish, everything in between.
That's right. Americans eat billions of pizzas each year, with pepperoni topping the list as the most popular choice. With so many styles and flavors to choose from, it's no surprise that pizza remains a staple in restaurants and homes across the country.
Today, you can take advantage of many deals out there at some of the national chains you see listed there on your screen as well, or might be a good day to hit up one of the local spots as well and support some small businesses. Either one, enjoy that pizza.
Well, right now, we're going to take a quick break. We'll make sure that you keep it right here, streaming live on WCNC Plus. We'll be right back.
Good morning. After a cloudy start, we're finally starting to see that sunshine trying to win out. We'll have a nice sunny day today, but it's been a chilly but not overbearingly cold start. 32 was our low, 34 right around the Charlotte area. Cloud cover definitely helped us out, and 30 degrees for you in Statesville. Looking at high temperatures to aim their sights really at the mid to the upper 40s across the area, more the mid 40s along the I-40 corridor with sunshine pretty much all day long. Let's call it a sunny to a mostly sunny one. Our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast has a nice little surprise. What is this? 70 degrees on your Tuesday. Tuesday night into Wednesday is going to be our next chance for rain. After that, we have a mix of the 40s with our next big chance for rain. That'll be Saturday night through Sunday. So as of right now, most of your Valentine's Day is trending to be dry, and then we should be back to the 60s middle of next week. All right, let's see where our status is for our morning commute. Majestic, what's going on?
Good Monday morning, everyone. We have a handful of crashes that I am covering for you all morning long on WCNC Plus. But one important thing to know before you head out the door, it is going to be this I-85 northbound between exit 19 and 21. There is a bit of a backup. This is what LaSalle looks like currently. I-77 heading towards Charlotte. There will be a slowdown because of a new crash out near West Boulevard.
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 7:30 on this Monday. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. First up, we'll look at your weather impact forecast. Chris joins us right now. Chris, we got some good news, we got some bad news, and we got some news that's somewhere in between.
Yeah, and do you know what? And I think that's where we're at right now. It is going to be cold. It's a cloudy start, but sunshine will be with us. And even temperatures in the upper 40s. If you add a wall-to-wall sunshine scenario, it does feel pretty good. Now, Saturday, if you could remember back in your weather brain, was a high of 49 degrees, but it was sunny all day long. It's just the winds were a little rough. Now, we're going to take the winds away from today, so today is going to be very similar to Saturday, just less of a windy environment. Now we just have this literal little column of clouds. It's not giving up, so I do think that we're still going to be holding on to this for at least the next 2 hours or so, but we're already starting to see some signs of a brighter sky. This is breaking down, and then by the mid to late morning, really the latter part of the morning, we'll see a lot more sunshine as we can already see those birds in a hurry off yonder. Here in Monroe, right now you're at 32 degrees Monroe, 34 is the warm spot right here around Charlotte, and then 26 around Boone. It could be a lot worse, and it has been a lot worse. And then overnight tonight, we have 30 degrees. It's going to be another freezing start, but what is this? What a nice treat. 70 degrees tomorrow, and then your Wednesday, you're going to have a ample amount of clouds, but it does look like we're going to start to clear things out by the back end of that forecast, and that is technically our next chance for rain. Not a major one, though, so let me go through our rain chances. So the rain chances that we have in the near term are nothing huge. I think it's really going to be maybe a quick shot for rain really on your Wednesday morning. Then again, we're going to have another weak sauce chance for an isolated rain shower Thursday night into Friday, and then the same thing into Saturday. But I think it's more so really in the back end of the forecast where you have Saturday night, Sunday, and Sunday night that we have already a likely chance for widespread rain. So we'll get there, but then also because of where the winds are coming from, that's why we're going to be so warm by tomorrow. So anytime you have a strong wind out of the southwest of this nature, this is behind a warm front, that's quickly going to warm us up. So I think you're going to have on and off gusts up to 20 to 25 miles per hour, and boy, you're going to be feeling the difference, because check this out. I love this map. I haven't shown you this in a while. 70 degrees throughout much of the area, even 72 around Sherrod, 68 degrees around Statesville, and then 62 around Boone. Now let's talk about our next big rain chance. So here it is. This is either going to be more of an earlier arrived event that it does affect more of your Saturday, it lingers a little bit longer, or it's going to be quickly in and it's going to be quickly out. So I still want to watch this throughout the week. I think Sunday is still the main benefactor for most of the rain, but this is so close to a day that maybe many of you have planned, say Valentine's Day night, which could actually receive a little bit of rain. I'll go through that scenario. So something that we want to watch. As far as our rain chances as of right now, it looks like you're dry for most of your Valentine's Day, but it's Valentine's Eve that things start to change. But most of that rain is arriving heading into the morning. It's also going to be a windy environment with this. And bottom line, this is a rain event. I don't see anything shifting that all of a sudden this turns into another huge snowstorm. Now, if you were to take all the water equivalent and bring temperatures down below freezing, this is a huge snow event, but that's not the case. Instead, we're well above that freezing mark. The only changeover that I see is right here along the Tennessee border, and that's Sunday night heading into Monday. So you might have some brief snow, very wet snowflakes to mix in, but all in all, this is going to be majority rain. So we have that nice little surge around 70 to the upper 60s Wednesday and then also Tuesday. And then, if you notice where our average is, 55. We're pretty much close to there. Thursday through Saturday, another dip before we'll see another nice little jump back to the 60s. Check it out, already 62, 65 next Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, nice to see that warm up. All right, Majestic, hopefully we're seeing a nice start to the day, but I saw you have a bunch of incidents.
We do have a lot going on. This is going to be I-77. I wanted to start with this live camera look. It's just kind of a screenshot of the live camera indicating that out near LaSalle, traffic is backed up just a bit heading towards Uptown. It's because we do have a crash there. I would allow for an additional 5 to 10 minutes to get to where you need to be if you are traveling that way. This is where it is as we change it over to my map. It's this right here, I-77 at West Boulevard between really exits 9A and exit 12. This is another new thing that is causing some impacts this morning right off of Independence inbound lanes to get onto I-277 John Belk. That is going to be a little problematic. They're saying that this could be about a 5-minute delay. That's already a very highly trafficked area this time of the day, so never helpful when we have a crash too. This right here is on Eastway Drive. It's one of our newer incidences near Shamrock Drive, but I do have all green here, so likely not seeing any big impacts. Those are 3 things you need to know right now. We'll have another check on traffic coming up soon. Ben.
Just into the newsroom in the last hour, we now know the name of a suspect in a deadly shooting in East Charlotte. Nisani Rayleigh, charged with murder along with several drug charges in connection to a woman's death. It happened Sunday afternoon on Timber Hollow Drive, just off Central Avenue. Police took Rayleigh into custody shortly after. They're urging anybody who saw anything to come forward as their investigation continues. Rayleigh will be in court this morning.
Also this morning, former Charlotte City Councilwoman Tijuana Brown is set to face a judge.
She pleaded guilty to fraud charges weeks ago. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards now live outside the courthouse in Uptown as that case moves closer to sentencing. Destiny?
Yeah, Brown's plea hearing is set for 10:30 this morning in federal court. We know that she plans to formally plead guilty before a judge to wire fraud conspiracy tied to COVID-19 relief money. Now, right now, we know federal prosecutors say Brown conspired with her 2 daughters to submit fraudulent PPP loan applications, using false tax forms and business information to secure more than $43,000. Court records show some of that money was used for personal spending, including luxury purchases and an expensive birthday celebration. The plea agreement also states Brown attempted to obtain an additional $20,000, bringing the total intended fraud to more than $63,000. $100,000. And during today's hearing, that's where the judge will confirm that the guilty plea is voluntary. The facts of the case will be presented and outlined as well, and that's when that guilty plea will be entered. We also know that Brown's daughters, they're also charged with the same. Their cases are moving forward. As for sentencing, there will be no sentence date set today, but that will come at a later date for Tijuana Brown. Live this morning in Uptown, I'm Destiny Richards, WCNC Charlotte.
In just a few hours, the man accused of killing a woman outside a Northwest Charlotte bank will face a judge. Saman Smith is charged with the murder and death of Ina Lang. Friday, she was found shot in the parking lot of Bank of America branch on Calabridge Court just off Brookshire Boulevard. The shooting prompted a SWAT response to a neighborhood off of Red Robin Street. Looking at video our crews captured of that scene. As of this morning, police have not yet shared a motive and say the investigation is still active.
A man once charged with murder in a deadly Rock Hill block party shooting will not serve additional prison time. Prosecutors dropped the murder charge, and the judge sentenced DeMarkian Clyburn to time served after he pleaded guilty to a gun possession charge. That 2024 shooting left 2 people dead. Charges against other suspects are still pending. Right now, Atlanta Falcons star James Pierce is out of jail on bond after being charged with battery and stalking. The Charlotte native was arrested Saturday near Miami. He's accused of speeding off from officers and crashing after a domestic dispute with WNBA player Rickea Jackson. Pierce is ordered to stay away from Jackson. And right now, a Charlotte nonprofit that serves some of the city's most vulnerable residents is fighting to keep its doors open. Block Love Charlotte says the building it operates out of has been sold, and with that sale comes a rent increase it can't afford. Now the nonprofit's leaders are scrambling to find a new space, one that's still accessible to the people Block Love serves, noting that even a temporary pause could have serious consequences.
We want to make sure that, our neighbors know we're going to come back, like whatever that looks like. We may even just have to work back on the streets like we did before, but we want to continue. So we're asking for the city's help to make sure that Block Love Charlotte can keep the love flowing.
Organizers say they are hoping to have a plan in place later this month or by mid-March.
This morning, we're getting our first look at a French bulldog just reunited with his owner a year after he was stolen. You may remember Julio, snatched last April from a North Charlotte apartment complex when someone stole his owner's car while he was inside of it. The car was found, but Julio was gone. After 10 months of searching, community help, even a civil lawsuit, Julio was found abandoned near the Charlotte Animal Shelter recently, weighing about half his normal weight. Well, Julio and his owner came to see us here at the WCNC Charlotte studios.
And I was kind of in just shock. I didn't actually believe that it was true. I'm so grateful for y'all's help and the community's help, because I couldn't have done it on my own. I really couldn't have.
Julio's microchip helped confirm his ID. CMPD and the district attorney's office not commenting on any potential criminal updates. The Catawba 2 Kings Casino just weeks away from opening. More than 900 workers on site now. Construction moving forward around the clock. WCNC Charlotte's Walker Lawson got the first look inside the main casino floor.
This is going to be one of the best casinos in the country, and I think people will really like it. Not only people that gamble, but people that like to eat, people that like to come and enjoy themselves and be treated well.
Get a complete tour of that new facility coming up tonight at 6 p.m. on WCNC Charlotte.
Emotions are high after 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie disappeared from her home. What we know about the ransom note. That's next. The time is now 7:43. A prayer rock and candles have been left outside the home of Nancy Guthrie in Tucson, Arizona by neighbors. The mother of the Today Show host, Savannah Guthrie, has now been missing for 9 days. So far, no suspects have been named in this case. Guthrie's possible abductor or abductors are demanding $6 million by tonight's deadline of 5 p.m.
That note also includes a threat to Nancy Guthrie's life if that deadline isn't met. Ivan Rodriguez is in Catalina Foothills, Arizona, with the latest.
Nancy Guthrie was last seen by her family on January 31st when she joined relatives for dinner and game night near her home outside Tucson, Arizona. The search for the 84-year-old is now in its 9th day. Former SWAT team captain Josh Sherrard says he doesn't believe there's been direct communication between the Guthrie family and any alleged abductors.
We still have no valid two-way communication with this possible hostage taker and the author of these ransom notes. It's been all one way. And I think that both sides are probably getting a little desperate as to start that communication before that deadline comes up.
The deadline in one of the initial purported ransom notes was for Monday at 5 p.m., demanding millions in Bitcoin. In a video released Saturday, Savannah Guthrie and her siblings issued a clear message.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Retired FBI supervisory agent Lance Lessing says investigators are closely working with the Guthrie family.
They're following a pretty solid playbook, trying to humanize the victim initially in that first, trying to open lines of communication, trying to get proof of life. This second statement, very different, but still a playbook. Still offering to pay, offering to get that open line of communication. How do we pay?
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
An Ohio man has been charged with threatening to kill Vice President J.D. Vance. The Justice Department says a federal grand jury indicted 33-year-old Shannon Mathry. An attorney for Mathry called the count accusing him of threatening Vance's life a farce. Mathry faces up to 5 years and a $250,000 fine for that threat. He remains in jail and has a detention hearing Wednesday. The Federal Aviation Administration is cracking down on drones. It says it's going to be more aggressive about enforcing safety and authorization regulations. It requires legal action if drones endanger the public, violate airspace rules, or assist in a crime. Penalties include fines up to $75,000 and a suspension of your drone license.
Cutting the cord is becoming a bigger trend every year, and a lot of people are rethinking how they watch TV. Something happening today might have you considering it too.
many of us watching may not remember this one, or maybe you weren't even born yet. 1973, the great southeastern snowstorm. That was from February 9th to the 11th, so we're right in the heart of that. Now, it was really interesting if you look really closely. So this right here, that's Mecklenburg County. Mecklenburg County only saw a measurable snowfall upwards to about an inch. Majority of this snow fell really from Alabama over through Georgia. South Carolina was the bullseye, and then this was a historic snowstorm right along the shoreline that was right in this area. So just east of Columbia, saw upwards to 20 plus inches of snow. So it goes down in history as one of the worst of all time. And I was looking at some of the old articles that are attached to this, because this data is from the National Weather Service. They have an archive center that you can go back to multiple storms. Deep south of nation is knee deep in snow. Another one referred to as a Yankee snowstorm plagues the South. So that was some of the verbiage I was seeing from some of these articles. So yeah, again, February 9th to the 11th, 1973, one of the most historic snowstorms to ever hit at least the South. Just wasn't as much of an issue for at least the Charlotte area in general. Okay, so moving forward, just wanted to let you know that as far as our temperatures are concerned, we are heading in a really nice direction, but what we are going to see is a nice little warm up. Check this out. We are going to see the top, that is 70 degrees tomorrow, and we are going to see a little bit of a come down. But one thing that we really have to focus in on, think about what we just went through in January. January was literally the tale of two halves. The first half, I think, was the 16th warmest. The back half was the 13th coldest, or the 14th coldest. Well, now we're starting to see our normal starting to come up a little bit. We should be averaging about 55. That moves to 56, then 57 by the end of this week. That means that we're getting a little bit closer to seeing a lot more of the 50s popping up in the 60s as our day-to-day. Now, February and March are still known for big temperature swings. The coldest we've ever been in the month of February is -5. That can still happen, but at least things are heading in a better direction. Where today, a high of 49 is better than what we have on Sunday. Sunday is a 49 with rain. Today is a 49 with sunshine. Sunshine always makes you feel about 10 degrees warmer. And then we have a nice little come up for our lows, 57. That's unreal. That means some of our highs aren't even going to be that warm a little bit later on in the week. And then 30 degrees will be a freezing start. And then after that, most of our lows are either around freezing or above, seeing a lot more of those 40s starting to take over as well. And then I mentioned this, the rain chances. There is a measly little pitiful chance for rain Tuesday heading into Wednesday, but then after that, we really have a better chance for rain late on Saturday heading through Sunday going forward. So these are really going to be the better chances for rain that we have over the next 10 days, but definitely the one that we have over the weekend is standing out from all the rest. Let's go through the nearest rain chance that I never got to at the beginning of the half hour. You're barely going to see anything here, but it is the one that's popping up next. You're seeing at most maybe a few bands of upper level clouds today. I think most of today is going to be wall-to-wall blue sky. And then for your Tuesday, picking up more clouds by the end of it. So it's a mostly sunny to a partly cloudy one, but then here comes the clouds. Clouds starting to roll in for your Wednesday. That rain starts in the mountains, but barely makes its way towards the Charlotte area. So I'm calling for some sprinkles and maybe an isolated light rain shower as the kiddos are at the bus stop for your Wednesday morning. That's a super warm one though, so you don't have to worry about anything. And then also some sunshine coming out for your Wednesday. Coming up at the top of the next hour, I'm going to go in a lot more detail about this weekend rain that we need so badly because of that drought status. But first, we also need a bad update about what's happening for the morning commute.
All right, let's get to it. Good morning, everyone. If you are heading out the door, maybe you're heading off to work on this Monday morning, we do have a few watch spots that you'll need to be mindful of. This is I-85 here, mile marker 21. It's been very slow moving. At times, it's hardly moving. Right now, it seems to be okay. There was an earlier car crash. It's off to the side, so at least it's mostly cleared, but I am still seeing some delays. So it's kind of a combination of that crash, and then this is a watch spot that we always have during our weekday morning commute. Inbound on I-85, specifically between exits 19 to 21. That's where it is going to be a little slower this morning, but again, not seeing anything too majorly concerning at this moment. As we're looking to the south of Uptown, this is going to be on Independence inbound. It's the off-ramp to get onto I-277. That's where we do have a crash there, seeing some minimal impacts there. Also wanted to show you what I-77 is looking like if you're one of our morning commuters coming in from York County heading into Mecklenburg County. It looks all right in South Carolina, but once you actually get into North Carolina, of course, it's going to be a little bit slower. That's what I'm watching for you right now. We'll have another check on those roads coming up here soon.
Majestic, thanks. Well, you are streaming live on WCNC Plus, and you are already participating in National Cut the Cord Day. It's a reminder that you don't have to stay connected to your cable packages.
Over the last few years, streaming has exploded, giving viewers more flexibility, more choices, and often a much lower monthly bill. Analysts say millions of people continue to ditch traditional TV subscriptions as devices and platforms make it easier than ever to customize what you watch. Whether it's binge-worthy shows or live news, cord cutters can build a lineup that fits their needs for a fraction of the cost, unless they have a lot of them. And then it is just as expensive, as we have all learned the hard way.
So many
And that is why
subscriptions.
WCNC Plus is nice, because it's free.
Free wherever you stream.
Have you guys cut the cord?
Yes.
I don't know if I ever had the cord.
That
Very
makes
good.
it easier.
Yeah.
We only really get cable during NFL season, so.
It's gone.
Gotcha.
We cut the cord a few years ago, but then we spliced it back together recently because I forget who we have, but they now have an option, unlike back in the day, they now have an option of where you can just get the news channels, which is what I want,
Yes.
and a few other things. Where back in the day, you had to bundle everything, so it was going to be $300.
Overwhelming.
$300, so you can have 1,000.
Right.
We only get like 10 channels, but that's all I want, and it's like $35.
Oh, that's
that
nice.
works.
Right? Like
Yeah.
that's
Pretty good deal.
That's
That sounds
reasonable
like a
to me.
very good deal.
Yeah.
I was talking to my grandma yesterday, and she still has the landlines, but it hasn't been working. She's been having issues.
Okay.
But she told me she has a phone in every single room of her house.
Wow.
Just in
I
case.
know, just in case. And
Yeah.
I love that for her, though.
Grandma's got to
because-
keep talking.
Yeah, and she lives by herself, so it's kind of like a safety thing.
Yes, good.
But I'm like, wow, I didn't realize she still had all those phones. It's a lot.
I love that.
You could just carry a cell phone with her, and she
Yes.
wouldn't need one in
She
every
doesn't like
phone.
that because then she forgets the cell phone,
I
and then
get
she
that.
can't find it.
I get that.
For her. All right, folks, so we have to take a quick break, but continue streaming
That's right.
here on WCNC Plus. Again, it's free.
For free.
That's right. We'll be right back at the top of the hour.
Well, hello everybody. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. Well, check this out. We got sunshine and those clouds are slowly going away. Across our Mr. Sparky Carolina camera network, all is well. Loving those golden rays now greeting us. We're now at our low for much of the area. 32 was the bottom here in Charlotte. We're at 33 right now. Now that we're cracking the clouds, we're allowing our last minute cool down. That's why we just dropped down to 29 degrees for you in Lincoln and 30 right around Statesville. But our Monday forecast, absolutely breathtaking. Now, it will be on the colder side. At least a calmer wind compared to what we had on Saturday, but at least the sunshine is back all day long. High temperatures in the mid to the upper 40s. Our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 70 forecast has a treat for you. 70 degrees. Celebrate good times. Come on. And then we will see a slight chance for rain Tuesday into Wednesday. 67 on Wednesday for the cool down. All right, Majestic, what do we need to know this morning?
Good morning, everyone. Well, today or tomorrow sounds like a good day for a car wash. This is what I-85 looks like right now near mile marker 33 near Billy Graham. Continuing to flow nice and easily, and lots of sunshine out there already this morning. A handful of ongoing crashes, slow-moving conditions if you're making that commute in from York County into Mecklenburg County. And we do have a crash there at Johnston Road inbound at Valentine.
Streaming live right now at 8 a.m. right here on WCNC Plus. I'm Ben Thompson.
And I'm Lisa Washington. We start things off this half hour with a check of your forecast for this Monday. Chris, we need some sunshine.
Oh, we deserve it. And that's the thing. Yesterday, high of 35. That was cold in general, but it was the lack of sunshine. But anytime you have sunshine like this, it just makes the day better. You feel warmer, it looks better, and it's a little more motivational than what yesterday was. Luckily, we had the Super Bowl to look forward to, the Puppy Bowl, whatever you are a fan of. But still, a gorgeous shot right here on top of our Dallas camera, which officially is 1,450 feet up in the atmosphere. Those clouds have been really stubborn trying to get out of here. But now they are finally getting going. What we can expect next is going to be a big-time rain system for the weekend, but really it's going to be the warm-up that we first see heading into tomorrow. And then I really like seeing 70 degrees on that 7-day forecast because, as I mentioned, we were 35 yesterday, so that's a 14-degree temperature swing from yesterday to today. And we're almost talking about a 20-degree upgrade by tomorrow. Through the afternoon today, mainly in the mid to the upper 40s during the middle part. Sunshine, I think, all day long, so barely a cloud in the sky for much of it. Could have a few upper-level clouds start to greet us. 50 degrees around Lancaster, still rocking the lower 40s around Boone. But it's a warm front that moves through that really is going to change up our forecast. I'm loving this. So it's starting off tomorrow, we're right around freezing. But because of that warm front passing, we pick up the winds out of the southwest, and this is almost that blowtorch effect. This is how you maximize your warm-up. This is what happened on Christmas Day and around Christmas that we had those historic temperatures. I'm not saying that we're going to be that warm, but it's this time of year that you need this type of effect, a passing warm front, blasting winds out of the southwest with some sunshine to maximize a big warm up. But regardless, it's going to be my pick of the week. Tomorrow, 70 degrees with mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Yeah, you can't beat that. Even if it was cloudier like it's going to be on Wednesday, that's still amazing. Which, by the way, Wednesday is our next chance for rain. We do have isolated guys on your Friday and Saturday, but it's mainly Saturday night and Sunday. And Sunday night is going to be our main time frame that we're going to see, I think, widespread rain. So here's what it looks like over the coming days. This is 8 o'clock today, meaning that not much really moved. By tomorrow, I think we're sunny to mostly sunny, but then greeting us with a few clouds by the end of the day. Still sunshine winning out. And then your Wednesday morning, here comes the clouds, and there's a rain chance. Boop, boop. Barely anything really popping up here. So I'm calling it for maybe a trace of rain to nothing at all. At most, I think maybe areas west could have a few hundredths to 500ths of an inch, but that's not a lot. It's really this time frame, Saturday night through Sunday night, that rain is already likely. When you're talking about day 6 and 7 of the forecast having a likelihood, and that's usually 60% or greater, you know this is a big system that's going to be tough to avoid. So that's exactly what we're seeing here. Clouds really start to increase for your Valentine's Day. The only thing that will be kind of a wicked change for us is if this accelerates and this turns out to be more of a late Saturday night into Sunday morning deal. Right now it looks to be Saturday night, Sunday, and Sunday night. So Valentine's Day plans, as of right now, the day, okay. The evening, suspect, because we have some rain showers to start to greet us. I think the heaviest rain really right now setting up for your Sunday morning into the afternoon. And then the back side of this will be a little bit of a changeover. So I think a wintry mix to some really wet snowflakes up in the high country. And then we should be dry for your Monday. And it will be a little bit of a cool down, but check this out. We have the mid to the upper 50s leading up to this. 49 today, 49 at the bookend. So you see that again on Sunday, but that's a rain in a 49. So not a pleasant day, but we waste no time. We're right back to 55, even multiple days in the 60s. So bottom line, it's this time of year, the 60s are becoming more and more popular as we're getting closer and closer to that range. The average is now 55, so nice to see a lot more warmer days than those below average ones that we pretty much spent the entire second half of January at. Okay, new update right here at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, usually just around the peak for a morning commute. Let's see what Majestic has for us.
All right, good morning, everyone. Let's get straight to it. Want to let you know about several accidents that are currently ongoing. You can see my map right here. I want to let you know about a newer one. This is going to be east of Uptown. It's off of Eastway Drive near Shamrock Drive. I do have some yellow popping up, meaning that we do have some minor impacts. Still not a significant delay, but something to know. It's important. This one here, it's actually a road that's blocked. You can see the purple here. Crews are going to be out there rebuilding the road after a water main break that's on West Moorhead Street between South Summit Ave and I-77. So they're continuing to work on that today. It's going to stay blocked throughout the entirety of the day. And then if you're taking I-77 northbound or inbound, just that stop and go traffic the closer you get to the uptown area, but nothing we're not used to. And then out towards Ballantyne, this is off of Johnston Road, the inbound lanes at Ballantyne Commons Parkway. This is going to be a minor delay, about 5 minutes as they are clearing that. That's a few things that I'm watching for you right now. We'll have another update coming up soon. Lisa.
Majestic, thanks. 8:05 now. Today, several Charlotte and Mecklenburg County leaders, including Sheriff Gary McFadden, are expected to testify in front of the House Oversight Committee in Raleigh. WCNC Charlotte's Richard Devane joins us live this morning. He's along the light rail in South End. Now, Richard, we know that a lot of today's hearing is going to be discussion about public safety here in Charlotte.
Yeah, that is correct, Lisa. Good morning to you. That meeting is set to begin in about an hour. And as you said, a number of Charlotte leaders are here, and some of them are questioning why they were actually called to come in the first place. The Charlotte leaders set to face tough questions today in Raleigh, where a State House Oversight Committee will examine safety on the CATS transit system. Republican lawmakers say they want answers about crime-fighting tactics and spending following two high-profile stabbings on the light rail, including the fatal stabbing last year that killed Ukrainian refugee Irina Zaruska. The committee has called Mayor Vilaus, CMPD Chief Estella Patterson, District Attorney Spencer Merriweather, Interim CAT CEO Brent Cagle, and Mecklenburg County Sheriff Gary McFadden to testify. Lawmakers say high-profile crimes have raised serious concerns about law enforcement staffing and Charlotte's overall public safety strategy. Now, city leaders are expected to outline changes that they've already made to improve transit security, as well as scrutiny over safety and accountability continues. But Sheriff McFadden questions why he was called to testify in the first place. He says since his office has little to do with the city's transit system, except housing those people arrested on the buses or light rails.
So when we talk about the light rail, that should have been under the CMPD umbrella. But of course, you know, we are in a political era.
Really hoping that the conversation is on the issue and it does not end up being a political theater.
And again, that meeting hearing, I should say, is set to start at 9 o'clock. We have our own Julie Kay will be there, and we will have details both here and in our app to give you whatever happens and whatever's discussed. Right now, we're in the South End. This is Richard Devane. We'll send it back to you.
We now know the name of the person of interest in a deadly shooting in East Charlotte. Nasani Rayleigh is charged with murder along with several other drug charges in connection to a woman's death. It happened Sunday afternoon on Timber Hollow Drive, just off Central Avenue. Police took Rayleigh into custody shortly after. They're urging anybody who saw anything else there to come forward as that investigation continues. The FBI investigating after Hickory police shot a suspect Sunday morning. Police say Robert Lester approached an officer in a parking lot with a knife. Officers then followed him into St. Luke's United Methodist Church, and that's when they say he turned towards an officer with a knife, and police shot him. Lester's in stable condition at the hospital.
Before we head to break, here is an exclusive shopping deal for our viewers.
Hey everybody, here at ShopTVDeals.com, we love bringing you products that we personally not only tested, but love ourselves. And I'm telling you, I love this device right here. I think it's a genius product, partly because it's so easy to use. It is the Static Tire Hero, and a wireless air pump basically. But look at these pictures. You know exactly what you can do with it because it shows you little photos. A car tire, motorcycle tire, bicycle, or even a basketball. So right here, take a look at this tire. This is actually a little low on pressure, should be at 32. It's actually at 27.6, but hit this one button after you connect it. You put the Tire Hero to work, and in a few minutes, this tire will be ready to go. And let's face it, when your tire is fully at pressure it needs to be, you get better gas mileage, and it's safer for you and your entire family. But like I said, the genius of this product, it doesn't stop at the tire. Like I mentioned, it also, because of these attachments, handles sports balls as well. Maybe the beach ball you're taking out to the pool or to the beach, basketball, football, whatever you have, it works wonders all across the board. And even better, as a bonus, it'll charge your cell phone in a pinch and also has a flashlight. Genius product and a jack of all trades. And on top of that, 20% discount. All this is yours, $55.99. Scan that QR code or go to ShopTVDeals.com.
The time is now 8:12. The family of former NFL player and Super Bowl champion Barry Wilburn has confirmed he was the victim of a house fire in Memphis this weekend.
The fire department responded to the reported fire around 2 a.m. Friday morning, where they found an unresponsive victim inside. Wilburn played defensive back for 5 seasons with the Washington Redskins and led the league in interceptions in 1987. That year, him and his team won Super Bowl 22 against the Denver Broncos. His mother remembers that Super Bowl.
It was a great experience. Barry had invited the entire Wilburn family to the Super Bowl. He intercepted 2 of his passes, almost got 3.
The fire department has yet to confirm the identity of the victim. The cause of the fire is still under investigation.
There is a new national holiday, and it's today. It's National Rehydration Day, a reminder to recover after all that food, cheering, and celebrating after the Super Bowl. The Monday after the big game is known for sluggish mornings, and staying hydrated can make a big difference. Most Americans are already dehydrated on a regular day, and that impact grows after a night of indulging. Health experts say refilling and replenishing helps your body bounce back and tackle the week ahead. It's a simple nudge to hydrate and feel better today. Well, speaking of feeling better, those people certainly are. I don't know, maybe they actually are a little tired right now. That's a look at Seattle last night after that big Seahawks win over the New England Patriots 29-13 in Super Bowl 60. Fans poured into the streets to celebrate the franchise's second Lombardi trophy, turning downtown into a sea of blue and green. The city embraced that moment with a championship energy Seattle hasn't felt in years.
Following the Seahawks Super Bowl win, Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak is expected to become the next head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. He's been with Seattle for just 1 season, earning recognition as one of the league's rising coaching talents. The Raiders currently hold the first overall pick in April's NFL draft. Well, it's game day in Buzz City, and the Hornets are chasing their 10th straight win, something they've only done once before in franchise history.
Charlotte faces a major test tonight, though, against the Detroit Pistons, the top team in the Eastern Conference. The Hornets are fighting to keep their playoff hopes alive, and that momentum is rolling. The tip-off is at 7 tonight at the Hive. Really hope they can pull that one off. All right, an Illinois community rallying behind an Olympic athlete ahead of her debut in the 2026 Games. Tessa Janicki is a member of Team USA Women's Hockey.
And her small town of Orangeville, Illinois could not be happier to see her succeed. Derek Bain reports.
Most people driving on Route 26 north of Freeport pass right by Orangeville, a town of just 800 people. But a new sign shows it's the home of Tessa Janicki, now a United States Olympian. And while all is quiet outside of Orangeville schools, inside the gym, it's getting loud.
A lot of kids here and a lot of staff are wearing red, white, and blue just to support her the best we can from all the way over here in Illinois.
The schools gathered for a photo with lots of red, white, and blue, and even some Tessa Janicki jerseys in the crowd.
Everyone in America gets excited for the Olympics every 4 years anyways, but now to actually have an athlete there representing our town and our school, so it's definitely something that we're excited to really show off.
To have someone from our little itty-bitty town who was raised here pretty much her entire life is pretty exciting.
Lon Sherrill coached Tessa in softball at Orangeville, and he's heading over to Italy for the second week of the games.
I'm lucky enough, my wife and I, this is one of those things we're not going to miss, to know an athlete who actually has a chance to gold medal, and we've been friends with that family, going back to the college days.
Julie Cahoon Jackson has known Tessa since she was born and watched her grow up as her neighbor. As a gym teacher, she's incorporating Tessa's Olympic journey into her classes.
It's pretty amazing. She is an amazing role model and someone that we are glad that our kids get to look up to.
Kids even made cards to send to Tessa in Italy and decorated classroom doors in honor of the Olympics. Tessa sees that support and has a message for the kids in her hometown.
Thank you guys for the support and all the notes of congratulations. And the last thing I'll leave you with is just to keep working hard. It doesn't matter where you're from, even if it's from the small rinky-dink town like Orangeville.
That small town has big-time pride in their Olympic hero.
You know I love answering your questions here, and it's easy. All you have to do is text them to 704-329-3600. And the question was, why does it feel so much colder than it actually is? And this is mainly talking about yesterday. Yesterday was not fun. There was no sunshine. What gives? I'm going to tell you the two main reasons why it was a lot chillier of this weekend than what maybe the Mr. Mercury was reading on the thermometer. See you soon. Okay, plain and simple. So it wasn't great this weekend. There was two things that really made it feel cooler each day. So I'm going to answer this question that was sent by you, and that is, why does it feel so much colder than it actually is? Now, if you have any other questions, I'll answer them throughout the week, 704-329-3600. And leave your name and where you're from as well. All-day sunshine today. That's the great news. But the problem is we didn't necessarily have that over the weekend. So number one, why did it feel so cold over the weekend? Yesterday, we had no sunshine. And this is my favorite stat that I share with everyone. My wife also shares this with people because people don't factor this in, that no matter the time of year, sunshine will make you feel a minimum of 10 degrees warmer than what the actual air temperature is read on the thermometer. So 35, say if we had sunshine, it would actually feel like 45. Meanwhile, over the weekend, on Saturday, it was sunny, even though it was on the breezy side. It still was making you feel 10 degrees warmer. During the summer times, it could be as much as 15 degrees warmer. But here's another thing, the winds. On Saturday, we had a high of 49 degrees and sunshine, but you also had wind chills that were making it feel like it was 32. So both days either had wind chills making it feel chillier, or you had the lack of sunshine that was making it feel chillier. So I'm happy to say that at least today is going to be a whole lot better at 49 degrees, and then we're going to be zooming. So yeah, this is where we have been. 55 felt much better. 49, the winds were brutal, but if you could avoid the winds, it wasn't too bad of a day. Sunshine makes everything better. We always say that here on WCNC Plus and WCNC Charlotte. 35 yesterday. Saturday, that is the bottom. Hopefully that's the bottom high that we see for the rest of winter. I can always be optimistic, right? And then where we're going after this, I'm loving this. 49 degrees today, 70. That's right, 70. The last time that we were in the 70s was January 10th. So it'll be almost exactly a month since we were this warm. And as a bonus, still rocking 67 degrees on Wednesday, which Wednesday I think is going to be a cloudy day overall, picking up more sunshine for the afternoon, but still warm and dandy, but eventually a shift in the winds out of the northwest will start to cool us down. But I want to show you the extended forecast here. You can see that we're going to have another cool down. That's going to bring to our next big rain chance. That's on Sunday that we're revisiting that 49 point. But plain and simple, over the next 10 days, we mainly have the 50s and the 60s. We're going to continue to see a lot more 60s as our average highs and lows continue to trend up, which, by the way, starting tomorrow, our average high moves from 55 to 56, and by the end of the week, it goes from 56 to 57, and then it really starts to accelerate its average warm-up. As far as our lows are concerned, we have one freezing low over the next 10 days, close enough on Saturday morning, but then all in all, above average, above freezing is where we like to see. Best chance for rain on Sunday. I'll have everything you need to know about that weekend rain coming up at the top of the next half hour. But first, Majestic has everything you need to know about your morning commute.
Let's get to a good Monday morning, everyone. This is I-485 out near Mount Holly, where conditions are looking just fine. Area roadways are nice and dry. People are commuting nice and well behaved. Not seeing any big problems on 485 right now, but you can see my map. It is busy. Let's get straight to this. It's going to be a blocked road right now. Crews are out there rebuilding the road after a water main break. This is on West Moorhead Street between South Summit Ave and I-77. No estimated time as to how long they're going to be working on this, but right now the road is closed because of those repairs. Just to the west of this is on Wilkinson Boulevard, westbound at Donald Ross Road. A new crash just reported, and then this one here, South Tryon Street at Clanton Road. We're seeing those northbound lanes that are being impacted by that. Those are three important things you need to know before you go. We'll have another check on roads coming up soon.
All right, live pictures right now over uptown from our view camera. Keep it right here on WCNC Plus. We're back coming up in just a couple minutes.
Well, good morning. Check it out. We got some sunshine starting to blossom off in the distance. A lot of birds have been active on this camera near the water tower in Monroe. 32 degrees there, 33 right around Charlotte. We're pretty much at our bottom, and now we're going to see the temperatures on the up and up. For the mountains, you have either side of 40 degrees, mainly the lower 40s, mid to the upper 40s across the foothills down through Hickory and Maiden, and then the upper 40s near 50 degrees with sunshine all day long, and then some of us will be really close to that 50-degree point down here in South Carolina. Our 7-day forecast brought to you to you by the Jerry Hunt Super Center, has a big time treat. 70 degrees. That's right. That'll be the warmest temperature we've had in a month exactly. 67 with more clouds and then sunshine eventually coming out with a slight chance for rain Wednesday. Then we have the 50s, even the 40s taking over. Best chance for rain Saturday night through Sunday. All right, Majestic, what do people need to know before they hit the roads?
It's busy out there on this Monday morning, but at least we're looking forward to some sunshine this week. This is going to be I-45 out near Oakdale Road, where it is moving just fine. Not seeing any problems on 485 right now. As we're looking at my map, still a handful of ongoing wrecks. I'm following all of these this morning on WCNC Plus, but crews are going to be out there rebuilding this road after a water main break. It's on West Moorhead Street between South Summit Ave and I-77. It is blocked today.
Thanks for streaming live on WCNC Plus at 8:30 on this Monday morning. I'm Lisa Washington.
And I'm Ben Thompson. First up, a look at your weather impact forecast. And I'll simply say this. There's a day on the 7-day that has a 70 on it.
I know, it's a great treat. And Ben, I want you to stick around for this because I know you love this stuff. We also have a sunset time milestone. That today our sunset time is at 6 p.m. We will not have another sunset before or at 6 until November 1st.
That's even better than the 70.
I know. See, I forgot. I wrote this down as a stat. So I kind of buried this one around. But yeah, no, we're also going to hit 70 degrees tomorrow. And today we have a 6 p.m. sunset time. So that is great to see. And of course, we spring forward, really accelerates this whole process. The sunrise time is still going to fluctuate all of the time. But yeah, it is nice to see this number getting later and later and later. And eventually we will be in the 7 o'clock hour before you know it. All right, now let's talk about the big time warm up. I actually want to start just with the 7-day forecast because it really just paints the picture. Here's where we're going. We're around 49 today. We're seeing morning clouds and eventually we'll see sunshine for the afternoon and then boom, 70 degrees. And this is a crazy temperature swing, y'all, that we're going to start off around freezing and get to 70 degrees. You don't realize how rare that is. It's just because you have such a strong push out of the southwest. A warm front is just going to drag in a blanket of warmer air. And we'll also have the sunshine trying to warm us up as well. Meanwhile, clouds start to move in late on Tuesday, and that's really going to cloud things up and also bring us a slight chance for rain. But whenever you have cloud cover through the overnight, it's like a morning atmospheric blanket that's going to keep temperatures nice and mild around 57 to start the day. And I think when sunshine evolves in the afternoon, we are going to see a nice little bit of sunshine to end the day. Now, after that, we're mixing throughout the 50s, pretty close to where we should be. And then we have another 49 on the bookend with a chance for rain. So let's talk about those rain chances. So the rain chances, we are kind of at desperation mode, just because we're so dry. We are at a moderate drought status across much of our area and for a good portion of North Carolina. And the immediate rain chances we have, the isolated chances on Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, those aren't going to help. It's really going to be the day of rain that we potentially could see on Sunday that's going to be a big time help for any drought status. So right now, it's okay because we haven't hit the growing season and we can quickly overcome it. But if we don't get some widespread rain soon, it's going to lead to some more long-lasting problems. Futurecast right now just showing some passing clouds in the near term, and then we start to see more clouds to end the day on Tuesday. Here's the chance for rain on Wednesday. Whole lot of nothing, just a little bloop bloop. So I think less than 0.05 of an inch to barely even a trace for most of the area, and then more sunshine potentially fighting through that cloud cover. But it's Saturday night through Sunday night that we still kind of have the big question mark, what exactly is going to come from this system, where there's two different scenarios. Both of them are showing a very cold rain, so this is not going to be a winter system. There was a lot of hype online, a lot of questions I was receiving. Hey, are we going to receive a big Valentine's Day snowstorm? So models aren't always wrong about rounds of precipitation and timing. I think long-term models are great for trends like, hey, we're looking to be above average. Oh, we're going to see a sudden cool down. It picks up well on that, but you can't predict a week out if there's going to be a snowstorm because so much happens. Because watch what happens. You have this big area of rain. This is a huge system. When this rolls in on Sunday heading into Sunday afternoon, this is a tremendous amount of moisture that if this was all cold, we'd be talking about maybe challenging that foot mark across the Carolinas. But instead, this is all rain that I think we could see up to an inch, inch and a half, some areas even over 2 inches from west to east across the Carolinas when all this is said and done. The only winter precipitation we're going to see is, I think, above 4,000 feet. We see a brief little changeover, and then it will be done by Monday morning besides a few leftover flurries. So that's our best chance for rain. Keep that in mind that most of your Valentine's Day is trending to be dry, but there is a chance we could have rain by your Valentine's night. So just follow that closely if you have any outdoor plans. But all in all, it's still at least on the warmer side. All right, let's get right over to Majestic. Traffic-wise, what's the update?
Well, it kind of depends on where you're traveling this morning. 45 continues to look all right. Haven't had any big problems there so far today. This is out near Long Creek, but as we switch it over to my map, you can see we do have our fair share of ongoing issues. I wanted to show you what I-77 currently looks like if you're coming in from Lake Norman. I mean, we're talking about stop and go conditions from areas like Cornelius through Huntersville if you're heading towards Charlotte especially, and then just to the west of Uptown, we're following this crash here. It's on Wilkinson Boulevard westbound at Donald Ross Road. I am seeing some delays actually coming in both directions, so it could be one of those instances where the crash is in the middle of the intersection. Then South Tryon Street, if you take it, there's a crash there right now. It's on South Tryon and Clanton Road where we do have moderate delays. And then again, this here is in Ballantyne. It's just off of Johnston Road inbound at Ballantyne Commons Parkway. This has been ongoing for over 30 minutes. Those are a few important things that I'm watching for you this morning. We'll have another check on traffic coming up here in a little while. Ben.
Majestic, thanks. We now know the name of the person of an interest in a deadly shooting in East Charlotte. Nisani Rayleigh is charged with murder along with several drug charges in connection to a woman's death. It happened Sunday afternoon on Timber Hollow Drive, just off Central Avenue. Police took Rayleigh into custody shortly after. They're urging anybody who saw the shooting to come forward as that investigation continues. Rayleigh will be in court this morning.
Also this morning, former Charlotte City Councilwoman Tijuana Brown is set to face a judge.
She pled guilty to fraud charges just weeks ago. WCNC Charlotte's Destiny Richards now live outside the courthouse in Uptown as the case moves closer to sentencing.
That's right. Tijuana Brown's plea hearing is set for 10:30 this morning, so in just 2 hours. And we know that this is her entering a formal plea of guilty before a judge for wire fraud conspiracy involving COVID-19 relief money. Now, what we know so far is that federal prosecutors say Brown conspired with her 2 daughters to submit fraudulent PPP loan applications using false tax forms and business information to secure more than $43,000. Court records show some of that money was used for personal spending, including luxury purchases and an expensive birthday celebration. The plea agreement also states Brown attempted to obtain an additional $20,000, bringing the total intended fraud to more than $63,000. Now, during today's hearing, we know the judge is expected to confirm the plea is voluntary, and then the facts of the case will be presented by prosecutors, where Brown is expected to admit guilt to those facts of the case. We also know that Brown's daughters are also charged with the same. Their cases are still moving forward. They're facing 20 years in prison for each count. And as for sentencing, no sentence is expected to be made today for Tijuana Brown, and a sentencing date is set for a later time, or we're expected to learn about a sentencing date on a later date. I'll send it back to you guys live here from Uptown.
All right, Destiny, thanks. In just hours, the man accused of killing a woman outside a Northwest Charlotte bank will face a judge. Simone Smith is charged with the murder and the death of Ina Lang. Friday, she was found shot in the parking lot of a Bank of America branch on Calabridge Court, just off Brookshire Boulevard. The shooting prompted a SWAT response to a neighborhood off Red Robin Street. This is video our crews captured there at that scene. As of this morning, police have not released a motive for the shooting, and they say the investigation is still active.
A man once charged with murder in a deadly Rock Hill block party shooting will not serve additional prison time. Prosecutors dropped the murder charge, and the judge sentenced DeMarkian Clyburn to time served after he pleaded guilty to a gun possession charge. The 2024 shooting left 2 people dead. Charges against other suspects are still pending. Right now, Atlanta Falcons star James Pierce is out of jail on bond after being charged with battery and stalking. The Charlotte native was arrested Saturday near Miami. He's accused of speeding off from officers and crashing after a domestic dispute with WNBA player Rickea Jackson. Pierce is ordered to stay away from Jackson. Right now, a Charlotte nonprofit that serves some of the city's most vulnerable residents is fighting to keep its doors open. Block Love Charlotte says the building it operates out of has been sold, and with that sale comes a rent increase it can't afford. Now the nonprofit's leaders are scrambling to find a new space, one that's accessible to the people Block Love serves, noting that even a temporary pause could have some serious consequences.
We want to make sure that, our neighbors know we're going to come back, like whatever that looks like. We may even just have to work back on the streets like we did before, but we want to continue. So we're asking for the city's help to make sure that Block Love Charlotte can keep the love flowing.
Organizers say they are hoping to have a plan in place later this month or by mid-March.
This morning, we are getting our first look at a French bulldog just reunited with his owner a year after he was stolen. You may remember Julio. We talked about him on the news here. Snatched last April from a North Charlotte apartment complex when somebody stole his owner's car while he was inside of it. The car was found, but Julio was gone. Well, after 10 months of searching, community help, and even a civil lawsuit, Julio was recently found abandoned near the Charlotte Animal Shelter, weighing about half his normal weight. Well, Julio and his owner came to see us here at the WCNC Charlotte studios.
And I was kind of in just shock. I didn't actually believe that it was true. I'm so grateful for y'all's help and the community's help, because I couldn't have done it on my own. I really couldn't have.
Julio's microchip helped confirm his ID. That's why you always want to get your pet microchipped. CMPD and the district attorney's office are not commenting on any potential criminal updates. The Catawba Two Kings Casino, just weeks away from opening. More than 900 workers are on site right now. Construction moving forward 24 hours a day. WCNC Charlotte's Walker Lawson got a first look inside the main casino floor.
This is going to be one of the best casinos in the country, and I think people will really like it. Not only people that gamble, but people that like to eat, people that like to come and enjoy themselves and be treated well.
We'll have much more on the story and more of that tour coming up tonight at 6 o'clock on WCNC Charlotte. Job openings shrinking and layoffs increasing, creating a tougher start to the year for a lot of job seekers out there. Hear what economists have to say about those numbers coming up next.
time is now 8:44. Lawmakers returned to Washington today with just days to find a funding solution on the Department of Homeland Security or see that agency shut down. Reed Binion reports as Democrats are demanding reforms to federal immigration enforcement.
The ball is in the court right now of the Republicans.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries ahead of a crucial deadline for funding the Department of Homeland Security, saying Democrats are standing firm by their demands.
Dramatically reform the way in which ICE and other immigration enforcement agencies are conducting themselves.
Jeffries saying if that doesn't happen, a DHS shutdown would be the fault of Republicans.
They're making the explicit decision to shut down the Coast Guard, shut down FEMA, and shut down TSA.
Lawmakers have just days to find a DHS funding solution or see the agency shut down. The deadline is Friday. Democrats' list of requirements for a bill to fund DHS and reform ICE include requiring immigration enforcement agents to wear body cameras and remove face masks, among other conditions. Certain Republican lawmakers have indicated openness to some of those demands.
When I was mayor of Miami-Dade County, we put body cameras on all Miami-Dade County police. Putting what agency you're from, I have no problem with that.
But other demands are seeing more pushback from Republicans.
A lot of times those face masks are there to protect the ICE agent themselves.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
New data shows job openings are falling and layoffs are rising as the year gets underway. Several new reports point to more companies cutting staff and fewer positions available for those job seekers. Not good news. Experts say the numbers reflect exactly what many people are experiencing in their search.
The data actually aligns with what we hear anecdotally, and that is that job seekers are finding more difficult. Longer search times are a fact for many who are looking for work.
January saw the highest number of layoff announcements to start a year since 2009. Driven in part by major cuts at UPS and Amazon, hiring also slowed, with private companies adding only modest job growth. Federal job data shows openings have dropped to their lowest levels since late 2020, signaling a low hire, low fire labor market continuing this year.
How invested you are in the stock market is probably impacting your view of the economy. A consumer survey shows that general sentiment is up this month. The survey's director says the positivity was fueled by people with the biggest stock portfolios. That's because the market has shown remarkable resiliency in the face of several economic pressures and uncertainty. Americans without a wealthy stock portfolio are more likely to feel less optimistic about the economy.
All right, we're super excited about the big rise up to about 70 degrees. This amazing thaw for February will be followed by a cool down. But coming up, we're going to talk a little bit more about the normals, where we should be, where we're going, and also the precipitation chances in between.
Hi, this is Larry Sprinkle. Time for today's Carolina Trivia, and it's all about sweet tea. But not only just sweet tea, but the largest sweet tea just happens to take place in Summerville in South Carolina. Summerville, South Carolina has the world's largest sweet tea. It was back in 2010 this actually happened, and you can actually see a replica of that right now in Summerville, South Carolina. 2,524 gallons of tea, 210 pounds of tea leaves, 1,700 pounds of sugar. It took 6 hours to brew, and 3,000 pounds of ice. That's it. The world's largest sweet tea just happens to be in Summerville, South Carolina. That's today's Carolina Trivia. I'm Larry Sprinkle.
Thanks a lot, Larry. Well, check this out. Look at these icicles. These are incredible, right? Now, this is not here locally, so about more than 100 feet of icicles are dangling off this water tower, and this is over here in Missouri. So this is actually DeSue, Missouri, and even with warmer temperatures in the forecast, it's still going to take a lot of time to get rid of this icy spectacle. And then they're also saying that this sits right on the Mississippi River. It's just 45 minutes north of St. Louis, kind of giving this perspective. But what a look, right? So it's not often that you see something like that, because the problem with this is even once you melt that ice, well, it eventually will refreeze through the overnight, and that's what they've been dealing with. But finally, we're starting to see a crack in our temperatures getting well above normal, not just here, but really across pretty much east of the Mississippi and of the Missouri as well. So where lows are going to go over in the near term, letting you know that there's only one morning that has absolute, chance for icicles, even though a lot of that snow and everything has now melted away. We just have the bottom, the derriere of our snowman that just remains in our front yard. Everything else is pretty much melted away. Some areas that don't really see the sun, you're still seeing some snow there. But check out where our temperatures are going to be. 57 degrees for your Wednesday before we're back to the 30s and the 40s. So speaking of, we're going to see some big major changes that a high of 49 eventually moves to 70 in the upper 60s because of a warm front. And the reverse of that, of course, is going to be a cold front that will cool us down on the back end. But I want to show you what tomorrow is going to do. I thought this is interesting. 1 year ago, on February 10th, we hit 70 degrees. Tomorrow's high, I have a forecast high of 70 degrees. And another thing also happens tomorrow. Our average high officially goes up to 56 degrees. That we're now at the time of the year that every 5 days or so, we're going to add a degree onto our average high. So that's officially for the 10th. On the 15th, it's up to 57. And then 4 days after that, it's 58. 4 days after that, it's 59. And I think you're getting the trend. 4 days after that, officially, we're averaging 60 degrees by the back end of February. So we're getting very, very close that we're going to expect a lot more of those 60s compared to the 50s and even the 40s like what we have today. But one thing I was mentioning earlier, with the power of that sunshine, it really isn't going to be all that bad. 49 degrees with sunshine, and the clouds that we're seeing is mainly what we're dealing with right now for the back end of this system that eventually will lead to a wall-to-wall sunshine scenario. We're seeing a lot of those golden rays right over Dallas, but then as you can check here, the sunshine now starting to try to fight through over here in Louisville and Anson County. So just a little bit more patient as we're finally trying to get that out of there. But as I've been showing you some of the long-range products, we will be back down to about 49 degrees on Sunday before we see a nice little comeback to the 60s. But as I showed you, the 60s will eventually become the main tens place that we have for our high temperatures. We have been through a lot over the last few weeks, so welcome to your reward, everyone. 70 degrees. I know Majestic and I are both excited about it.
It's going to be so nice tomorrow, that's for sure. Hey, if you're heading out the door anytime soon, this is what I-77 looks like. That's out near Woodlawn, where conditions are flowing just fine. We have a handful of ongoing wrecks, though. I-77, if you're coming in from the lake, that's what it currently looks like. We have slow-moving conditions. This is South Tryon Street at Clanton Road, still mainly green at this time. And then this crash here, this is out by Ballantyne. I've been following it for a while now. It's at Johnston Road inbound at Ballantyne Commons Parkway. It is backed up to Providence Road West. And then again, once we're heading a little bit more northbound, this is Old Statesville Road at Gibbon Road, where that crash still isn't cleared, and we are seeing delays coming in both directions. Live camera look, this is I-77 mile marker 6 out near Woodlawn. Again, people are up and at 'em, starting their day just before 9 o'clock this morning. Not seeing any significant impacts there, even if you're coming in from York County heading into Mecklenburg County.
Majestic, thanks. So we're going to take a quick break, but make sure that you keep it right here, streaming live on WCNC Plus. At the top of the hour, our Jane Monreal takes over from our live Impact studio. She will have the coach of the Charlotte Crown. That's the women's professional basketball team, the city's newest pro team that starts this spring. Stay with us.
Slowly but surely, getting more and more of that sunshine across our Mr. Sparky Carolina camera network. Loving that. 32 degrees was our low. We're back up to 35 right now around Charlotte. 33 for you in Lincolnton, and freezing still Morganton and Hickory. Our high temperatures today mainly going to be in the mid to the upper 40s. At least it's sunnier and it's a warmer day by about 14 degrees compared to where we just were. And then we're back below freezing by tomorrow morning as the sun's rising up. Check it out. 57 degrees for a low on Wednesday. That's bananas. So it's 57's our low. What's the high the day before? 70. Is that you? It has been literally 1 month since we've been that warm. It was January 10th the last time we were in the 70s, even the upper 60s. Nice, really consolation prize. Slight chance for a little bit of rain in the morning. After that, the 50s with a better chance for rain Saturday night heading into Sunday. All right, Majestic, what do people need to know this morning?
All right, good morning, everyone. We are heading into a busy start to our new work week. This is I-77. This is what it currently looks like if you typically take mile marker 6 out near Woodlawn. Busy, but not seeing anything too majorly concerning at this time. We've been following I-485 as well. For the most part, it's been okay, but we do have a new accident. It's on Wilkinson at I-485 where there will be some impacts. Take it easy.